morning. It is Thursday the 2nd. Happy July. Welcome to this week's vlog. You're sliding. You didn't slide in the last video update, but okay. Let's talk quickly about what I'm going to read today, and then also some stuff. I am going to finish Thief of Time from Terry Pratchett, and then I also think I'm gonna fuck around and go ahead and finish Night in Silence from Sean McGuire, because I listened to quite a bit of it overnight. So I only have like an hour and a half left of it. I'm mostly reading it with my eyes, but I only have like an hour and a half left of it, so I think I'm gonna finish it too. And then I'm also going to be killing my pets. Sorry, I forgot I was recording. It's Mr.'s birthday. He turns 13. Okay. Talked about reading. Here's what I plan to do. The shocking thing I plan to do. I think that I'm going to reinvent and redo closing shifts and opening shifts. This is a concept I came up with when I lived by myself, and it helped me get tasks done. Because like, if closing shift fucks up, then opening shift has to do what closing shift didn't do, and it's like that process. Okay, so I think that I'm gonna set up reminders on my phone and set them as repeated reminders, as two different lists: closing shift and opening shift. Things like cleaning the sink out, wiping down the counters, picking up in the living room, just those basic things. Running the bottle washer, etc. And then in the morning, it is basically cleaning up the bottles from the night before, taking care of the milk, running the bottle washer again, emptying the bottle washer, making myself breakfast and coffee, those things. Closing shift, making coffee, programming it for the next day. I think I'm gonna do that because I had that thought last night, and I think it'll be good because after we deep cleaned the house, I forgot how much I like my house to be clean. And then there's obviously going to be some other tasks that I have to do throughout the week, but yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. My battery's dying. The cats are being assholes again, so I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you later this week. Probably tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow because it's an observed holiday tomorrow, but I might update tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm going to go. Hope you guys are having a great day. Okay, thanks, bye. Right, yeah, of course it will. It is Monday the 6th. I had Friday off, which is why I didn't update. Also, I put this on because we have dinner with Aiden's family this weekend, or today, sorry. And I was like, I want to be cute, and I should feel really good in this top. I don't feel really good in this top. Here we are. Over the weekend, I got 25% into Lies My Teacher Told Me, which is a book I've been wanting to read for quite some time. It's very interesting. I am enjoying it. I'm having a good time. That was it. I mean, I kind of started The Unkindest Tide from Sean McGuire, kind of passively, just listening to it. So, the reading plan for today is in fact going to be listening to The Unkindest Tide. I want to start, well, not start, but really start, because I'm kind of like 4 chapters in, and finish it today. I also want to get 50% into Lies My Teacher Told Me, so that should be good. I had, yeah, well, for The Unkindest Tide, I wrote that it's going to take me 4 hours to finish it. I have 2.5 hours left, so I guess, you know, not that bad. My battery's dying, please hold. I got new cameras, because fuck Ring. Well, and I explained why. I also explained why we were getting new cameras, but fuck Ring. They work with the company and one. I think they actually canceled the contract, but I said what I said. Oh, I'd like to do some crocheting. I don't know if I will manage it, but I would like to. And I would like to work on some CLEARURSHT stuff, but that will be in a different video update. I also need to edit. I need to edit a fuck ton. I need to edit the last week's vlog, or this past week's vlog. I'm gonna need to edit this update. I did a video for TikTok of like my closing shift, like what it looks like when I'm closing down the house by myself. And realistically, if I was really determined, I could go ahead and film my August TBR. I know that's crazy, but I could go ahead and film it. And I might go ahead and film it. So yeah. I kind of just want to fuck around with some of the footage and, like, I not fuck around with some of the footage, but I kind of want to just start. I want to film it, but the problem is that, one of the books, I don't know if I'm going to read it, because I need to see if the first one is good or not, so I may just hold off on filming that for a little bit, but I do need to edit, and I don't like the way that my book blanket video went. I had to cut it really short, but I think if I tried to film it today, I would still have to cut it really short. So it may just be a short update, and that may just be what it is. But we will see. But I need to edit and do all of those things. So I'm gonna go so that I can go ahead and get going on some of these things and start some work. And I will talk to you guys later. Okay, thanks, bye. Hello, good morning. It is Tuesday the 7th. It's 6:30 a.m. I got a bunch done of CLEARURSHT stuff this morning. I felt inspired, so I got a bunch of that stuff done real quick. And also, I realized as I was editing, there's a lot of books I didn't talk about that I did read during the various holiday days that I wasn't recording. So we're gonna run through those real quick. First, I finished Thief of Time and The Last Hero by Terry Pratchett. Thief of Time, really enjoyed it. I like books about death. I think that they are solid. I think they're solid and they're good and I like them. The Last Hero, didn't enjoy it. 3-star read, it was okay. We were sliding. It was okay. I just don't like the Conan the Hero books. I just don't. I finished Night in Silence from Shauna McGuire. That is one of the October Day books, and incredible book. It's so much fun to read these now that I know the direction that we're going in. So I'm like, also yesterday I finished The Unkindest Tide, which is the next book in the October Day series, and when I initially read it, I was like, I don't love the books about the ocean, the mer people, the whatever, I don't love it. I do love that we have the Lushak and like the Selkies and that kind of thing, but I don't, it feels like we've taken a break from the main plot. We did take a break from the main plot, but largely so that we could wrap a bunch of shit up. It was to wrap a bunch of loose shit up so that we could get onto the very big bad plot. Which I have to appreciate that. I also started and finished A Long and Speaking Silence by Ningbo, which is just a continuation of a series that I've been reading off and on for a long time. It was good, solid, I think 3 or 4 stars, I don't remember what I rated it, but solid, just another novella in the plethora of novellas in this series. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. This morning I finished The Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents. 5-star read. One of my favorite Discworld books, apparently. I just don't think that it's a Discworld book. I don't know why it's in the series. It doesn't feel related at all, but I do think Terry Pratchett writes younger aged books really well, and I think this was a really fun one. I think if you were to introduce kids to the Discworld series, this would be a really good one, except again, not totally sure how it's relevant to the Discworld series, but I digress. And finally, we're going to talk about a nonfiction book that I read that pissed me off, and it's called Precious Little Sleep. Now, if you don't read parenting books, you may not know this. There's a problem in the parenting book world where people who work in finances or economics keep fucking writing parenting books. They don't have a background in pediatrics. Their experience with babies are literally their own children. Like, that is and they are writing books. Precious Little Sleep was repeatedly recommended for figuring out babies' sleep. Now, here I am, I don't do sleep training. We don't do sleep training. If I were to do sleep training, it would be gentle sleep training, but because we do a lot of attachment style parenting, I follow a lot of that philosophy, not on purpose. That was very largely by accident, but I'll follow a lot of that philosophy. I like to answer every single one of his needs. He cries, I'm there. He wants to be warned for all of his naps, he's warned for all of his naps. And the other reason I was reading this was because I was hoping I could get some insight on what I could tweak throughout the day or through the night to get him back to sleeping longer stretches of time. He is inherently and naturally doing that on his own and figuring it out on his own. We're not getting the super long stretches anymore, but we're getting 3 or 4 hours, and then another 3 hours, and then like 2 hours, and another 2 hours, which I ain't mad. That's literally fine. It's better than what we were getting in the beginning of this regression, so it isn't as good as it was when he was a newborn, but anyway. So I have no interest in sleep training. This book was a fucking excuse to make parents feel better about letting their child sit in a room and scream and cry until they finally realize that nobody's going to come, and so then they no longer scream or cry when nobody comes. So they don't do that anymore as a means of communication. Listen, you know, if I had a really terrible sleeper, I might have very different opinions, but the science just does not back cry it out as a method. The other issues I had, other than the like emphasis on this, the writing style is very, you know, when TikTokers are talking about cringy millennials, that's the writing style here. That's the writing style here. You're not that funny. And if we took out all of the inane, idiotic jokes, this book would be like 50 pages. You could be a naptime ninja, but you have to be a consistency goddess. The goddess of consistency. Go fuck yourself. What do I look like? I'm literally a sleep-deprived parent. I don't have time. I don't care. I just don't care. It supports Cry It Out and it supports Fervor, both of which I don't participate in. It also implies that if you are not doing independent sleep and not encouraging independent sleep, you're fucking their sleep literally for life. The science does not back that. Science doesn't back that at all. Science says that if you contact nap with your child consistently, but they still manage to sleep by themselves to some degree. Actually, the science says co-sleeping is also fine, but it's just American culture. It's just not as safe. But mostly because of Western culture, not any other thing. But the science doesn't back that fucks up your sleep for life. It means that you have a very secure attachment and you feel safe in your home and with your family. Oh no, God forbid. How dare we? What the fuck? If you don't have naps figured out by like 4 months, you're fucked. If you can't do things on this really specific schedule, you're fucked. It doesn't account for breastfed children very much, which is annoying as someone who breastfeeds. It just pissed me off. Oh, also a thing that really irritated me. So, attachment style parenting philosophy is a specific philosophy with specific standards of care. Parenting so that your child has a secure attachment, different. These are different things. One is like just a moral stance. I want to parent so that my child has secure attachment, so I'm just making sure to meet 30% of their needs, and beyond that I'm good, because that's all that they need. It makes you really wonder about your parents, doesn't it? When you hear that stat, you're like, what do you mean? You mean that was all my parents had to do, and they didn't? And the other is parenting in such a way so that they have the most secure attachment. And it has guidelines and like co-sleeping and breastfeeding and baby wearing and contact napping and mom stays home and doesn't work. You respond to every one of their needs. Those are the things that attachment style parenting philosophy is, not parenting so that your child has a secure attachment. Again, two different things. Let me read you what this dumb bitch said. I got exactly one thing out of it, and then the more I read, the more I'm like, I don't actually know if this is true. I didn't highlight it. Hold on. Let's open it up. I gotta find it. But one of the things that she said that I did highlight, and I noted, science doesn't back this up, is that she said that if your child has frequent night wakings, even if they're napping well, they're probably sleep deprived. And that's why things aren't going well. No, I'm sorry, my child waking up for like 10 minutes at night and then going back to sleep for his 12 to 13 hour night sleep is not, he's not sleep deprived, but sure. Here we go. These are her myths, right? Lower this so the lighting's fine. You cannot do sleep training and subscribe to attachment parenting philosophies. Right? See, AP philosophies. This is important that she specifically said this. Attachment parenting has unfortunately become a bit of a predicament for families. Somewhere along the line, AP became synonymous with co-sleeping, breastfeeding, baby wearing, baby-led weaning, and using only locally sourced organic produce and a whole host of other lifestyle choices. Deviating from this set of choices suggests that you are not an AP parent, which is ridiculous. We are all attachment parents. We are deeply attached to our children as they are to us. Secure attachment occurs when parents are reliably tuned in and meeting their baby's needs. That's contradictory. Your whole book is contradicting that very last sentence. Secure attachment occurs when parents are reliably tuned in and meeting their baby's needs. If you're doing Cry It Out, you are not reliably tuned in and meeting your baby's needs. Listen, if you did the Cry It Out method, I get it. There's desperation, and I understand. I get it. I thought I would literally never let my child look at the TV until they were like older, and we'd be watching WWE. Okay, I get it, but like, that's not what attachment style parenting is. That's not what attachment style parenting philosophy is. Like, there is a whole philosophy. It is, you can look it up on Wikipedia. It literally would have taken you one Google search to find that that is in fact what it is. Other than the organic blah 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 blah, but she just included that because she's a bitch. Anyway, that's it. I finished that. The other book I finished, or am 50% into, is Lies My Teacher Told Me. That one is really interesting. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm jarred. Especially, I was raised on a Becca. I don't know if that's a trigger word for anybody, but I was raised doing a Becca. So my history was already very weird and fucked up anyway. Like, the American history I was taught was even more fucked up than the public history books. But, with that being said, I'm jarred, I'm shocked. This is wild. It's a wild read to see just how many things are different and how many things I'm like, yeah, I know about that. No, I was wrong. Even the things that I did know, the things outside of the history book, like about Christopher Columbus, I was not aware of how terrible that person was. Like, I knew he was terrible. I just didn't know how terrible. Let's talk about what I'm going to read today, and then I'm going to finish this because this is a very long update because I just had to bitch about Precious Little Sleep. Today I will be starting and finishing System Collapse from Martha Wells, and then I will also be getting 75% into Lies My Teacher Told Me, and that should be it for the day. I'm going to edit this vlog and call it good. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, thanks, bye. Hello. It's Wednesday, the 8th. I read a bunch yesterday, so let's talk about it. Flip here. I don't know what's happening to this. I finished System Collapse and Platform Decay from Martha Wells. I liked both of them. They were solid reads. I would love if my cat would get the fuck out of mine. Go. I enjoyed both of them. I thought they were good. A good continuation of the series, especially considering I hadn't finished them in a while. So like I had to reread because I just truly had no memory of the series. Then I also got 75% into Lies My Teacher Told Me. Good, solid, enjoyable. Crazy, super crazy. Like, there's just so many things, history-wise, that I just didn't realize were so misconstrued in American history. And I understand why, like, the patriotism of it all, but that doesn't make it acceptable. The indoctrination of it all. And then I also started and finished the Discontented Little Baby book from Pamela Douglas. Pamela Douglas is the creator of the Possum's Sleep Program, or just baby program, I don't know. But she also, all of her stuff is backed by science and research and decades of both, which is great because all of these other books have been just pissing me off because they are not backed in any of that. They are just backed in made up nonsense that is just not true. It doesn't even really encourage traditional sleep training. It encourages cue-based care, which we follow a little bit, but we also follow a little bit of scheduling. But there's some things that, like, people tell you that they're like, don't feed to sleep because you don't want them to associate food with sleeping. I don't care, frankly, and also, biologically, it makes sense for them to associate food with sleep at this age. And like, statistically, sleep training has to be repeated over and over and over again with every sleep progression, with every milestone, like teething and that kind of thing. You have to re-sleep train, and that doesn't make sense. Whereas for the first year, if your goal is just to make it as tolerable and manageable for the both of you, you'll have a better dynamic that the wakings and stuff will just piss you off less and will affect you less. One of the things I got from the book too was like that breastfeeding moms wake up more, but they get better sleep. They get more sleep than sleep training moms and formula feeding moms. No offense to formula feeding moms, I get it. No judgment. Even though their babies wake up more, because you just feed them and you put them back to sleep. And then you just go back to sleep. And you don't have to make a bottle, you don't have to get anything, you don't have to do anything. You just feed them, you pop them back into bed, and then you get back in bed. And so thinking about that, I was like, you know what, tonight I'm just gonna nurse him for every feeding, which I had already kind of started doing. I was like, I'm just gonna nurse him for every feeding, and I'm not gonna pump after. I'm just gonna nurse him for every feeding, and then I'll pump in the morning, and it won't be a big deal. I'll just pump in the morning, call it good. And that is what I did, and he slept really, really well. He did get a bottle. The last thing he ate was a bottle. No, and then I fed him. I nursed him for like a minute because he seemed to want to. So nursed him for a minute. He fell asleep, knocked out, didn't wake up. We got our first like almost 6 hour stretch that we've gotten in weeks. And I really and truly think it's because, one, his naps were solid and consistent, and I didn't like, I followed the wake windows and like the cueing from the apps about that, but because I have no sense of time. But I also like checked in with him. Like I would check him and like, oh, are we yawning? Are our eyes heavy? Our face showing signs of being, he and I have the same birthmark, but like it's redder as we get more tired or more upset. And so basing on that, I was putting him to sleep a little earlier than this stuff. So like, you know, I think I was possibly pushing him a little too far with the wake windows. So yeah, he slept until, like 1:30 a.m. from like 8 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. and then fed him, and then he slept again until like 4:30. Wild. I was literally telling Ozzy, I was like, he has been sleeping weirdly, where like we weren't getting that before. We were getting a long 6 hour stretch and then really short stretches, hour and a half, 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. We just weren't getting, like, it was actually more like 2 hours, hour and a half, an hour, like it was just shrinking. Mix of like not understanding circadian rhythm and like not having the sleep pressure and just not needing it. His sleep cycles were still changing. And so then last night we got the almost 6 hours, then from 1:30ish to 4:30, however much time that is, 2.5, almost 3 hours, 3.5, almost 4 hours, I don't know. And then I got him at 6, nursed him. He was still sleeping, but I nursed him and then put him back so that he could sleep a little bit longer for his dad. He didn't sleep a little bit longer. We're still working on getting him to sleep until 7. I don't want him awake at 6. But he hears me getting up and moving about, and then like the smell of the room changes because I move. So I think we are in a really good position, especially to start eventually moving him into his own room. We will see. We may have to get another baby monitor about that. I need to talk to Aiden about that. Also, he's been napping in his room for 30 minutes in the evening. He goes down pretty easy. The nap is easy. And I think he would sleep longer than 30 minutes. So I think it may be time to move another one of his naps into that room. So I'm thinking either the first nap of the day or second to last and then the last. Probably second to last and the last though, because those are the two that I just truly have no commitment to. I don't know why my camera just decided to track the fucking thing. Hold on. Track me, not that. But yeah, so we'll see. But those are the things I read, and that's what I got from the book. Like, it really made me feel better about the parenting decisions that I'm making. Because all of the things are like, if you don't sleep train your baby, they're gonna have terrible sleep for the rest of their life. And I was like, that just doesn't make sense to me, because we have not been sleep training our babies. Like, this is a modern Western thing. So, like, what do you mean? I know I probably wasn't sleep trained. What do you mean? And the other thing is, like, culturally, it's very strange that we don't co-sleep either. Like, not culturally, but, like, as a society, it's very strange that we don't co-sleep. So, I don't know. Those are the things that I'm thinking about, though. I will be reading, which also, side note, I also did get a trial of the Possums program because I'm curious about it. I love the science. So I'm curious about it. Anyway, today I will be reading. I will be starting my Face on the Milk Carton reread from my childhood. I'm very, very excited about it. Don't talk to me, I'm so excited. But I'm going to talk about that in another video. And then I am also going to be finishing Lies My Teacher Told Me. So that's it. That's the update. I will talk to you guys later. Okay, thanks, bye. Hello, good morning. It is Thursday the 9th, which means I will be closing the vlog out here. Yesterday I did finish some books, and I wrote it down so that I could remember to talk about it. I finished Lies My Teacher Told Me, really enjoyed it. I think it ended up being a 4-star read, maybe a 5-star read. And the only reason that it wouldn't have been a 5-star read was because it was just, it was a lot of book. It was a very heavy book. I enjoyed it, but it was a lot of book. Then I also finished The Face on the Milk Carton and Whatever Happened to Janie. Both of those. Finished them. They are for a video that I'm filming where I am rereading the series. So, you'll just have to trust me when I said I liked them. I have some questions, but I liked them. Yeah, interesting. It's an interesting thriller series. I can see how young me was like, I have to read the next one immediately because what? Also, just, and I will bring this up in that video too, but what's up with like all the sort of like casual, nonchalant, Christianity in books from back then? Like, it's just super casually there. I just don't remember that. And maybe it's because I was like still involved in the church that it just didn't even register to me. But like now I'm like, why are we just super casually talking about God and the church and all of these things? I don't understand. But yeah, that's it. That's the update. I will talk to you guys next week. I hope that you all are having a great day. Yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll talk to you later. See you next week. Okay, thanks, bye.